to this blue. Let's have it right. Up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Let's have it right. Minerals FC. You got the minerals, yeah? Love it. Got the minerals, TT.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking minerals, mate.
So have it right. Up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Hope everyone is doing good tonight. Big up to every single one of you that's in here. First and foremost, like the video. Very important, guys. Like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you want to donate Soup Minerals, donate Soup Minerals. We got the membership, the Minerals FC membership, which is pinned at the top of the live chat. And welcome, everyone. Good evening. Hope everyone is doing good as usual. This is a bit of a late one, but let's have it right. I'm going to introduce you a proper Minerals guest for the new Minerals FC channel, which has been running for about, 7 weeks now, people. We've hit the 3K subs, which is fantastic. And we're only growing quicker and quicker and quicker. And we land the minerals. We say how it is on this platform. No mucking around. So before I get into the comments, I'm going to bring my guest on, and then we're going to dive straight into the minerals. Let's have it right. So without further ado, I will introduce you Mr. Feroze Ali, the legend himself. Big up, geezer. How are we doing?
Thank you. Love the intro, man. That was amazing. Good to finally be here.
Yes, mate. Lovely to have you on, Feroze. Obviously, it's been a long time due. Certain things have sort of delayed it a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're here tonight.
We're here now. Yep.
We're going to land the minerals, and we're going to talk Chels. We're going to talk about all sorts, whatever we fancy. But before we get into it, I'm going to run through the chat quickly, and then we'll start the show. We'll roll on, people. So first and foremost, let's go in. PS in here. Who is that in the cap? That's Feroze Ali. If you don't know Feroze Ali, tell the geezer who Feroze Ali is, geezer. Come on.
I'm just a Chelsea supporter, like everyone, supporting the best team in the world right now. And I like to just make videos. Have been producing videos for the past 10 years, animations, other sort of content, and of course, have made the unofficial documentary Against All Odds when we won the Champions League the first time and the second time as well. So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't. But I am so happy to be here. I loved, you know what, man? That intro gave me goosebumps, by the way. FYI.
Love that.
Intro gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, that's got all the minerals in there. It's a real vibe to bring people into my world, my dimension in the Minerals FC channel. And it obviously gives people a taste all around the world that haven't ever had the opportunity to go to a game. They kind of can absorb that feeling, that emotion, of me trying to share that with them. So I'm glad you got goosebumps. A lot of my followers tell me that as well, and they leave that in the comments. It's a big thing. But Feroze Ali, obviously, I want to let everyone know in the description below, Feroze socials are below. He's got his own YouTube channel, Feroze, as well. Is that Feroze 17 on your YouTube?
Yeah.
Feroze?
All my
Yeah.
socials are for 17.
So Feroze 17 on Twitter, Instagram, and obviously YouTube. He's got his own channel. He does loads of visual content and lots of editing and proper minerals. They are fantastic stuff, and the stuff he creates is awesome, mate. It really is.
Appreciate it.
So I'm going to run through. We got Loco, Coco Pops. Nice, looking forward to this. Missed the last few. I've been lacking minerals recently. Need a new dose. Don't worry about that, geezer. You're going to get the full minerals dosage tonight. This is a link to my membership scheme, guys. If you haven't signed up the membership, get on it, people. British Patriot, my member. I'm early, but big up Johnny, up the Minerals FC, top Chelsea channel. Always telling it how it is. Love to hear it. My guy Stretters, up the Minerals FC. Let's have it. Dale's in here. Cameron's in here. All the usual. Big up Philly in here. Big up Johnny. Hope you're good. Like and subscribe, people. Let's get Johnny to 4K. Yeah, it's amazing, guys. We're on the road to 4K officially.
That's and you just started this new channel, correct?
Yeah. About 6 weeks. I think 7 weeks now. This is my 7th week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's going really well, geez. Big up Chelsea Minerals Old Boys. And as always, there's a tradition for this geezer in particular and for all my followers. Yeah, we land the minerals. We let everyone know, especially in London, all right, who the daddy is. And we see things they'll never see. And that is the fact of the matter. We have to land these minerals. These 2 stars is what we are all about. Up the Chels, up Minerals FC. So that's for you, Chelsea Old Boys, as always, my geezer. Shabby is in here. Let's have it right. Big up the minerals. Just call me Dave. Hey, boys. Big up to chat. And Johnny time for my daily dose of minerals. By the way, Julius landing big minerals on the football terrace. Oh, I never knew Julius was on the football terrace, but fair play. Land the minerals there. There's some wishy-washy fans on there. Julius ain't one of them, that's for sure. And he'll probably rinse out the Arsenal and Spurs fans.
Yes.
For breakfast. Do you know Julius Feroze, yeah? Yeah. Julius is a legend. He's top geezer. Really is a top geezer. Lee Taylor, why aren't foreign referees allowed in the EPL? We already have foreign players, owners, managers, support, medical staff. We'll get into the referee stuff. Don't worry about that. Immortal Technique, evening to you, geezer. Josh, Joseph in here. Big up, Johnny Boy Blue. Up the Chelsea Minerals, Kevin. Femi, let's go. Julius is always fire. He is always fire. He's proper fire. But listen, big up to all you guys in here. We're going to talk Chelsea, obviously. Where should we go, Feroze? Do you want to delve into a bit of last season? Because I haven't spoken to you since during last season. You know,
it's been too long. The fact that so many things happen, it's hard to keep track. From the whole thing with the sanctions and stuff. Because I didn't talk to you since then. I think.
It hasn't been since the sanctions.
Crazy.
Really.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, tell me that was the worst, most toxic time being a Chelsea fan? It really was.
100%. It's just crazy how I think that moment sums our club up, and I think we all can agree. The fact that we went from literally the best team in the world, champions of the world, everything going good with the owner, and then just within a month or two, boom, just went downhill, right? It just, with Chelsea, it's always the greatest highs of the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, and thankfully we all knew things would get back to normal, or hopefully better than they were before. I know that's really, really hard to say, because our previous owner was a legend, and the success we had was just surreal. But hopefully better days ahead. And you know what, I can sense the togetherness with the manager and everything, and the transfer that are coming in. I feel like we have this positivity right now.
I definitely think that. I think from that whole period, it was horrible. And then I think obviously I've got a bit of uncertainty with Bowley, but at the moment, obviously proof's in the pudding, and it's on longevity. It's not just the now, but if you're talking the now, he's doing an amazing job. He's pulling in some world-class players. And the most important thing for me, when you spoke about togetherness and unity, that's the most important thing, because we lost that last year. We had a lot. Obviously, we had the cement booted fraud Lukaku, who I cannot stand. I'm glad he's out the club.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
But like that ruined a lot of things. There's unhappy players there, and we're starting to see in this transfer window players that don't want to be at this football club are
Mm-hmm.
getting out the door, and the gaffer's been backed, and that's the most important thing because Thomas Tuchel is by far probably for me the best manager we've had since Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that. I think this guy is. I tweeted it today. I think he's the special one 2.0. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
going to take us to that level of Jose winning us back-to-back titles. I really do feel that with Tuchel, as long as he gets the backing that he deserves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the togetherness, the unity, the family right now, the ballers that we got at the club, the future signs that could come in, it's exciting times at Chelsea. So what do we think? Obviously, we got now Sterling's come in. We've got
Yes.
Koulibaly. We've got Cucurella.
Wow. Wow.
Who else we got? Chuck Winnerals, I call him.
Yeah.
Chuck Winnerals.
Yes.
We've got Hutchinson from Arsenal, the young kid. We've got Casady coming in. A lot of future talent, but also current
Yes.
existing established
Exactly.
internationals. So it's a good balance. But what are you making? Because for me, Bowley, I think he's doing incredible considering he's got no football director of football.
Yes.
So
Of course.
what's your take on the whole sort of the transfers at the minute? Are you happy with them at the minute? Do you think there's a lot more to go? What's your vibe, Feroze?
I feel like this is such a tricky question because at the start it was really frustrating for like a lot of people, right? And it was started the window, and then you saw like City like sign up Holland and all these other clubs like just do their business. Like even Liverpool got their players in early, and then the fact that we lost a proper leader and arguably one of the best defenders in the world in Rudiger, I was just like heartbroken in terms of like it's rare when a player, a really good player at the top leaves the club. It's rare. Like that last time that happened was with Hazard, but before that, maybe Robin, I would say, because usually players who leave are now first team players or they just don't get the minutes. So the fact that like we replaced Rudiger with Koulibaly, that was just sensational. Sterling, the second highest scorer for City in the Premier League, we got him. Um, and I feel like the fact that we got all these other players too, Cucurella, who was going to City, and then of course they got rid of like Zinchenko, couldn't get him, and all three of them were just shining against Spurs. Obviously just one game, but I am really impressed with the signings. But this window can be perfection once we get that clinical striker who just scores our goals and finishes our chances.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating the last like few seasons. Sure, we won the Champions League, which was unreal, but to win the league, we need that like proper striker to finish our chances. Unfortunately, we just don't have players who are too clinical in the final third, besides Money Mace. But it's just one of those.
Let's go. Yeah,
But it's just one of those things where I feel like the Havertz chance last game as well. It just keeps happening. It's just a repetitive thing, and we still haven't unfortunately replaced Diego Costa.
Yeah, that's the problem. And we thought
Yeah.
everyone. Well, I didn't think. You know what I thought, but
Yeah.
when it comes to Lukaku, everyone thought that Lukaku was that guy, that Drogba Costa guy, and he clearly ain't.
Yep.
My thing is right. Cucurella, we were told he was only going to City. We've taken him. Sterling, Pep didn't want to get rid of him. He wanted to come to London, come to Chelsea, play Champions League football. I think he's coming to Chelsea winning Champions League, and I love that.
Yep.
And Sterling, I wasn't so excited, but now I am, and I can see the
Yep.
real quality that he's bringing, the way he fits into the team. And obviously, Koulibaly, for me, is an absolute upgrade on Rudiger. He's an absolute minerals merchant, isn't he? He's a general.
He's
Unbelievable
so
player. The performance and the goal at Spurs was class. And he's taking JT's number. And the fact that he called JT, the respect levels, do you know what I mean? Come on, let's have it right. You've got to respect the GOAT and our legend. He called him up and said, I know that the shirt is heavy, but I'm ready to take it on. And I love that about Koulibaly. And he scored exactly the same goal as JT. The volley. It's unreal, mate.
Do you know the whole story of how he actually called JT and JT thought it was someone else?
No.
So basically he called JT, right? And JT picked up and he's like, I'm Koulibaly. And then John was just like, hold on a minute. I'll call you back. And then he confirmed. He called Tuchel and he confirmed it. Oh, that was Koulibaly. And then he called him back. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry because I
Oh,
just needed to
shit.
be sure, like it's not a prank call or something, you know." But
Oh,
lots of
mate,
respect for him for calling him. You know, like the fact that he had to call like our captain, like, and ask him, "Hey, like, can I like take?" That's just so classy. Such a
it
nice,
is. It is.
like,
It's a
yeah, you
touch,
know.
isn't it? That's
Yeah.
respect, mate. And do you know what? It couldn't have gone to how can I say a player, in my opinion, that's been probably the best central defender in the world. I would say over the last sort of 5-6 years, I think he's been the best in Serie A, clear.
Hmm.
And I think if he did play for a better team, he would be
Oh
no
yes.
question best in the world. You know,
Hmm.
he's class, mate. And at 31, you're getting like the best years of him, really.
Yep.
All right, maybe we
Exactly.
could have got him. We tried to get him 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We tried to get
Hmm.
him, and he talked about that when he was introduced. How I know Chelsea, me and Chelsea, there was talks and that, but obviously the owner, and I didn't want to force a move because De Laurentiis was a real
Oh
arsehole in my
yeah.
opinion.
Of course. Of course.
He's a right tosser, but
Yeah.
we've got him now, and I'm happy. I'm buzzing, and I love that touch what he done with JT because that's
Oh yes.
pure respect. Because I was a little bit, what, he's going to take the 26,
Yeah. Same.
really?
Same. Same. I'm like,
You know.
and so much pressure as well. You know, like it's just ridiculous. But the fact that he's embraced it is just amazing.
But listen, it's done. It's sorted. JT given the seal of the middle seal of approval by the legend himself, and I'm buzzing for that. So I'm
Yeah.
behind Koulibaly, and obviously masterclass performances really against Everton because I was away at Goodison Park, and that was a great win. Wasn't the best game, but his performance, Cucurella came on, looked sharp.
Yeah.
Everyone just like we're trying to get match fitness, and it was one of those games, but we won. And the last time we won at Goodison, we went and won the league. In fact, the
Yeah.
two times we won at Goodison,
Yeah.
won
Of
the league.
course.
So I'm feeling good vibes at the minute. And the performance at Spurs was mental. But before we get into that, I want to talk about a few previous links that we were linked with, right? Because
Okay.
I've landed the minerals on these journos. Yeah, I don't know if you know. I call them brown envelopes. A lot of them. They're all full of shit, right? So the Kunde deal, the Kunde deal. I found out we never bid for him, right? But Fabrizio and all these guys were adamant. Matt Laws and all these fellas told us that we bid for Kunde, yet Sevilla accept a lower bid to Barcelona, and he goes
Hmm.
to Barcelona. So I've been well pissed off with how Chelsea and Chelsea's name has been linked to like every single club all
Hmm.
over the planet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we look at potential signings now, the list at the minute, as it stands, is Fofana, Casady, which we've signed, the Aubameyang fella from
Yeah.
Barcelona and Arsenal. Who's the other one? Gordon from Everton,
And the young.
and the
Yeah.
Frankie De Jong circus
Yeah.
show, the
Yeah.
saga. So now there was a tweet today that came out and said Chelsea are willing to spend 150 plus million to get all these players over the line. Now, when I worked it out, I'll tell you exactly how much it is.
Hmm.
All right. Now, this is where I get a bit funny with the brown envelopes, but let's have it right. We're going to say it how it is. So, if you take all those signings plus the signings we've already made, so I'm going to list them out: Sterling, Koulibaly, Cucurella, Chuck Winners, Slanina, the goalkeeper, Frankie De Jong, Fofana, Gordon, Aubameyang, Casady. That comes to 414.5 million spent.
Wow. Wow.
Right now,
Yeah.
we know that a lot of the brown envelopes have told us that we can spend in excess of 300 million within
Yep.
financial fair play and without selling players. Now, we have got rid of Lukaku, we've got rid of Werner, we're going to get rid of Alonso. Barkley's going to go, Bakayoko's going to go. We've got Colwell's gone on loan. There's
Yep.
talk of Pulisic now, Hudson
yes.
Odoi, and Ziyech. So that's 5 out of the front line, all going to go, which we'll delve into. And then in the middle of the park, we still only got Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher. And as we know now, Jorginho's the only fit one out of those ones. Kante and Kovacic are out. They're
Yep.
injured. So my thing is this, right? So Matt Law's come out with that
Okay.
statement of we're gonna spend 150 plus, we're willing to. But then he
Mhm.
came out with another tweet saying for Fofana and Aubameyang, anything else after that is a bonus. So what one is it? Like, what are we supposed to believe here? Because in my opinion, I think my first target is Declan Rice, but that's not going to happen. But
Yeah.
if you look at our team now, yeah, we need a striker. So Aubameyang potentially could be that guy if it's true,
Yeah.
right? He
Yes.
could be that filler, right? You've got Broha there. Does he stay? Because Kai Havertz is there, and then that's still no other attackers linked, right? You've only
Yeah.
got Aubameyang coming in, but you're letting go of 5. So that means you brought in Sterling and Aubameyang only. So you're cutting yourself short, and there's no youngsters to come in unless you buy Gordon. Gordon's going to be about 40, 50 million.
Oh yes, Gordon as
right?
well. Oof.
And I like him. I think the gaffer wants him for a reason. And like I'm backing it. But my thing is, I think Frankie de Jong is absolutely vital. But I don't believe we're going to sign him. So I want to get your take on, because I think he'll stay at Barcelona. I think we buy Aubameyang, it allows them to get him to lower his wages and do a deal under the table, right?
Exactly.
So if we're generally going for Frankie de Jong, you wouldn't go and buy Aubameyang first. You do that last. You go and get Frankie de Jong first. So what's your take on all of these? Four potential. So you got Fofana, Frankie de Jong, Gordon, Aubameyang, and Sadie's coming. So he's coming. So it's four extra sign. Out of those, do you think we're realistically going to get them?
I think we will. I think we will get everyone, and unfortunately, because I agree with you, we should go for De Jong instantly right now.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna go right to the wire, and you can just flip a coin with that.
Yeah.
I think it might even go to deadline day just because of how, I think the whole De Jong thing also relies on Bernardo Silva going to City, and then it's just gonna cause a whole snowball effect, in my opinion. And personally, the fact that De Jong, unfortunately, it pains me to say this, wants to stay at Barcelona really badly. It seems like it, by the interviews he's given and all that, and all the agent talk. Having said that, it's going to be a lot easier to get the other players like Fofana. Brendan Rodgers has said, right, like he might not play in the next game because he may leave, right?
Yeah.
And then the other transfers to Aubameyang, he knows Lewandowski is going to be the number 9 for Barcelona now, right? So there's no way he's going to start for Barca because of the new signings, Rafinha and all. And I think he also misses London maybe. And then, of course, the fact that, he'll get the extra motivation just to prove Arsenal wrong, even though he scored, lots of goals. So that would be a much easier signing. And the fee is going to be, around 20 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Even for the others, it's going to be Fofana is going to be interesting because now I think Leicester know they're going to sell, and it's going to be a lot easier, even though the price is going to be 70, 80 million. But the De Jong thing is just so complicated because of how much it's going to cost, and also sort of convincing him to come to Stamford Bridge. The rest, I think, a lot easier, right? Which is why I feel like a lot of journalists are saying Aubameyang and Fofana sort of guarantees, and the rest, or should I say, De Jong is going to be the main tricky one, which does make sense.
Do you not think though that for me, I think Frankie de Jong is probably one of the most. He's a baller, isn't he? He's got minerals, isn't he? But do you not think he's more important? I see Tuchel looking at the back line as, because let's have it right. If we get Fofana, in my opinion, I think we've got the 2-3 best wing backs in the world in Reece James, Cucurella, and Chile. Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
right. You've got Silva, world class, Koulibaly, world class. Already you've got a pair in there. And you bring in Fofana, young French international. Oof. You've got a back line now of pure minerals to go and win the league, right?
Yes.
And then, so the gaffer's built the defense, elevated us from what we had before with Christensen and Rudiger, right? That goes without saying. But for me, Fofana, 80 million is a lot of wedge. I think, like we did with Chile, we should go back to him and say, do you know what? We offered you 80, but now we're only going to offer you 65. Take it or leave it. The player wants to go now. It's clear the player wants to go. So, do we play that game like we did with Chile? Because with Chile, we used Regulion. We went to Regulion and said, we'll pay you 50 million. And Leicester thought, shit, we're not going to get the 80 million. We're not even going to get 50 million. And we ended up buying 50 million. We need to do something like that with Leicester. But I don't know if Bowley is experienced because Marina dealt with that. Marina's not there. That's the tricky one. But I think for Fofana, no doubt he's got the minerals. He's a baller. But for me, Aubameyang seems to be quite an easy one. The only thing I don't like about it is he's got that tat on him with the Arsenal tat. He's got like, stuff like that. It does. I don't quite like it. And also his off the field antics. I know he's got to pattern up, because if he gets stroppy and it doesn't go well, is he going to cause us distress like Lukaku did? And is the gaffer going to want that ego? Because there's no dispute when he's on form, he'll score you goals and he's an animal. But at the same time, he's got to hit the ground running straight away. We're in the season now. So that's the only thing I've got question marks with Aubameyang, and how long the contract is. Because if the contract's long and he doesn't do well, it's going to be a bugger to get him out. It's going to be very difficult to get him out of the club and sell him on. So I will go, listen, the way I look at it, Feroze, whoever the gaffer wants, I'm backing it. I couldn't give a toss, I don't care who we sign. In my opinion, my preference, and I think urgency, is Frankie de Jong. Now, when you say snowball effect, I think Frankie de Jong, if he does come, I think Jorginho leaves. And I think Jorginho goes to Italy. That's the thing I think, because Jorginho will leave on a free next year. If Kante doesn't sign, he leaves on a free. And my thought process with the gaffer, if I put my mind with the gaffer, if he brings in a Frankie de Jong, you've got a player at 25 with all the minerals there to play for the next 5-6 years at elite level, right? And then you can bring in Declan Rice next year for 80 million instead of the 150, which is extortion. And you've replaced Jorginho and Kante, bang, like that. And you've rebuilt. And then you've got Casady, you've got Chuck Winnerals, you've got Gallagher. And then you've got the option to play a back four and a back three. And I think quite right now, it's very difficult to play just the back four in the 4-2-2-2 like Tuchel wants to play. So for me, Frankie de Jong is a very important signing, but I just don't believe the brown envelopes. I don't believe all this prop from that Romero Twitch geezer. He's anything that comes from their camp isn't in our favour. It never is. Look how they treated us, Feroze, with Rafinha and Koundé. How the media made us look like mugs, like we got no pull, we got no minerals, we got, we're just a small club in London. It's bullshit, because I believe Koundé, I know for a fact, Koundé we never went in for, right? We didn't. The gaffer didn't want him. Marina wanted him. The gaffer didn't want him, because if the gaffer wanted him, we would have bought him earlier on in the season.
A lot earlier. The Koundé thing just happened like a panic thing. I don't know. It was just like a bunch of weird reports. I feel like that was just like really weird, because if you wanted him, he would have been a Chelsea, because he wanted to come to Chelsea. That's like public information, right? For the past few seasons, he's been flirting with the club, and I think Marina did want him. We've tried going for him before, but if he wanted to sign him this summer, he would have been a Chelsea player like a lot earlier. But I agree with you 100% with like the points you're making, like in terms of De Jong, he should be a priority, which sort of is making me wonder. Hopefully we do have a plan B on the side just in case we don't get him, because it's going to be really tough getting someone of his caliber, because he is a world-class player. He can start for like almost any team in the world. He's that good, and it's
Do you think he
really
wants to come though?
that's the thing. I feel like if he keeps getting disrespected a lot, and Barca, the thing is, Barca want to push him too. They do not, or they want to keep him for a lot like lower like salary, of course. And I think it's really interesting the fact that like I compare De Jong with Fabregas, and I compare and I said earlier we're missing that one striker. So getting those two replacements would just be perfection for me. Hopefully we get all these other signings too, but time will tell, man. But
they're the big ones, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
they're the big ones. Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
I think Frankie de Jong, and say, I'm not saying necessarily Aubameyang,
Yeah, but that striker,
a type of versatile striker, even if they're young or whatever, I think that puts you in league contention.
yes, 100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? I think
because
if you get
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I feel like, with all bias aside, Chelsea's defense is the best in the league. And if we get
Yeah.
Fofana right now, it's 100%. It's not even debatable. Chelsea's defense is the best league in the league right now. And if you get Fofana, like 1,000,000%, it's like there. It's cemented with probably the best in the world with the fullbacks and their defenders. And if that's the thing, our defense is so good. Our midfield is good, but it can get better, and our attack just needs, like, that clinical striker and maybe like another winger. I don't know.
Because my concern, I 100% agree that like the defense for me is going to be the best in the league, best in the world. I think if you don't get Frankie De Jong, I think you should go and win the Champions League. I think I think even with a Frankie De Jong, you win the Champions League. I think you're right up there to win it. The league is a bit of a push because you need a bit of luck, and you've got the World Cup in between. But I think if you look at Liverpool's condition at the minute, and they lost Mane, in my opinion, was their best player, and you can see that they're suffering. They drop points at United. That's 3 draws potentially, or a loss, and they're creeping out of it. Like, we got robbed, and we'll get into that obviously. But
yes.
I just feel that if they really want a Frankie De Jong, then I don't think you do a Aubameyang first. And in my opinion, if you go and get a Aubameyang first, I think Frankie De Jong is going to be an opportunist last-minute deadline day deal. But I think you're going to make it harder for yourself. Whereas if you don't buy Aubameyang, you do De Jong first, and maybe you can get Aubameyang last minute. After that, what it does is it puts pressure on Barcelona to sell what's his name, De Jong, because they want Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's agreed personal terms with Barcelona. That's all set up. It's just a fee of like 120 million, but they can't afford it, Feroze, mate. They've got no more levers coming in. So, you know what I mean? They've got 4 levers.
Level. We are the next lever. Like, Chelsea is the next lever. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I think do you know what I say? I say Frankie De Jong is their 5th lever. Literally, it would be their 5th lever. Let's have it right.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? That 80 million. Listen, the only problem I see with Frankie De Jong, where I think is sticky one, right? Apart from the fact that does he want to leave? I think deep down, if he knows he's getting 70 million, the club don't want him. They benched him on the first game of the season. He played for like 15 minutes, which is a disgrace because he's their best player, in my opinion. All right, but if he lowers his wages to come to Chelsea, because I don't think Chelsea are going to pay 500 grand a week, no chance, right? No way. We might come to him and say, "Here's 350 a week, 380 a week. We'll pay your 17 million, and that's your bonus to come to Chelsea." And you get the chance to work with Tuchel and challenge and play in the Premier League and blah blah blah. Move to London, right? The only thing that worries me, if there is a sniff that Frankie De Jong leaves, I think United come in, and I think United pay the 500 grand a week because they're so desperate.
The thing is, now they're getting Casemiro, right? So I don't know. Like,
do you think they are getting him? Do you think?
I think they are. I actually think they are going to get him, because the fact that Casemiro, I don't think he's going to start too much this season for Real Madrid because of like the new midfield signings. So that's why I actually think it's a realistic thing, and hopefully that, in a weird way, hopefully that happens, just so like the De Jong thing, like we get no like hijacks or anything, right? Hopefully.
I mean, look, I'm going to set myself up that we're not signing Frankie De Jong. Yeah, that's how I set myself.
Same. It'll be a bonus. I just, just from perspective, just see it as a bonus.
If we sign him, it's like happy days. I'm buzzing. I'm going to drink the United tears up the Chels. If we don't sign him, it's like, all right, fair play. I think he always wanted to stay anyway. I think he does want to stay. So, I think Barcelona are trying to sell their deadwood, so to speak. So Aubameyang, Depay, any other players. They've got their big players, PK, Busquets, to drop their wages so that they can balance the books. But I think Frankie De Jong is well within his rights to say, fuck you. I'm keeping my wages as I am. If you don't like it, it's your problem. You sign me up to that. That's your issue. I haven't done anything wrong. I've just signed a contract. So it's going to go to the wire, and I think they're going to want Bernardo Silva, like you say. We're moving away from Frankie De Jong because obviously that could be one. And Aubameyang, look, these are all potential signings, but I think Fofana is the closest one for me. I think is the
Okay.
closest one to getting done, hopefully. And I think the moment the gaffer gets that defender, it allows us to kick on in other areas. What do you make of Pulisic, Ziyech, and Cho all wanting to leave? Oh, and
Oh,
Ziyech I knew, but Pulisic and
yeah.
Cho,
This is so tough. Because like when you look at their cases individually, it's such a sad thing because I think Joe before his injury was just that burst of speed he had was just phenomenal, and the way he was just brave enough to like run direct at defenders, it was just like honestly at that time, there's a reason why Bayern wanted him, right? There is a reason. Like everyone saw that talent and potential. I think Cho on loan would be a no brainer for both Chelsea and Cho, but hopefully he doesn't want to just leave like full time. Like otherwise it would just be one of those things where you gotta accept it and move on. With Pulisic, I tweeted about this yesterday. I got quite some stick because I said, which is weird because similar to Cho, before his like injuries, he was so good. Like Project Restart when he came in, and he was arguably the best player at the club for a few months. When he like terrorized Liverpool, and all these other like clubs. I feel like he's just been so inconsistent with his finishing. And he also gave an interview, which is weird because I just said this about Cho. He gave an interview, I think, like a couple of weeks ago, where he said he has to change his style of play, and he cannot run too much, like at defenders anymore because of his injuries. So this whole theme of like injuries and our wingers, and you can see the same thing about Ziyech being injured like almost half the time, right? And the fact that all three of them want to leave because they aren't getting minutes, but they don't get minutes because they're inconsistent is just sad because I think one of them can stay and be really good if they're fit. Like Ziyech is just one of those weird things where he just won't fit to our style of play. He gives that different element, which is good, right? With his like left foot, that curler. Having said that, I will out of the three, I would personally just keep Pulisic, just because I think he has the highest ceiling out of all of them. That's just my take.
yeah, yeah.
I just don't want another situation where he goes somewhere and like to a mid-table team like Newcastle, and then he leaves to like
Pulls
Liverpool or
out.
something, and just like goes crazy there because we all have seen him play like to some crazy level, and that I get nightmares after De Bruyne and Salah, so I just cannot have that. So if we do let him go, I hope it's on loan or a buyback. That's my only thing with this whole thing. But it sucks how all three of them want to leave. It really sucks.
It's the timing of it, and the way I
Yes.
look at it, right? Listen, especially Ziyech and Pulisic, they're made out of biscuits. Like, let's have it right.
Yes. Yeah.
They're so fucking injury prone. It's just like you don't know whether they're going to last or not. And Pulisic gets a lot of knocks, and it's a very demanding, excuse me, physical league. Does he really suit the league? We've seen
Mm.
moments of Pulisic, but we've seen so many inconsistent moments and
Yes.
moments where we don't see him. Ziyech, for me, when they call him a magician, I think his biggest trick is disappearing in every game because we don't see him enough. And
Yeah.
then he'll come out with open a can of beans with his left foot, and then you're like, oh wow, what a baller! And then it's like, oh yeah, he's
Same
disappeared
thing.
again.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a very tight link with Lukaku, and I
Oh
think he
yeah, I
wants
was
to
gonna bring
go
that up.
AC Milan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
yeah, yeah. So
Lukaku and Rudiger, they have that whole connection. Yeah. So.
yeah, get rid.
Mhm.
So like I'm happy for Ziyech. Cho, I'm a bit upset about because I thought Cho would get this season and I thought he'd fight. But my thing is this, Feroze, right? And I'm like this with every player. If you don't want to be at the football club, if you're moaning about a system, then clearly you're not versatile. Clearly you don't want to adapt or you can't adapt and it's affecting you. Then it's very simple. If you don't want to work for the gaffer, you don't want to earn your stripes, you don't want to play for the team and fight for your place, then the door's there. Get out. Because at Chelsea, we ain't got time to carry passengers or people that are unhappy. We haven't got time to give you a time to bed in because let's have it right. Pulisic has been here for 3 seasons. Ziyech is now what 2.5 seasons. All right. chose the only one that I can give an excuse
Yeah,
where
of
he's had
course.
a bad injury. Geez, you know, he was
Yeah,
carrying
yeah,
it. He was carrying it last year, and no one knew about it until the summer. So Pulley, I think yes, he has a high ceiling. So does Cho. I think Ziyech is just not good
yeah.
enough.
Oh
He's
no,
not
yeah.
strong enough.
Okay,
He's
I have
not
a
Chelsea
question
level.
for you. I have a question for you.
Go on.
If United offer 40 million for Pulisic, would you take that?
No,
No, right?
no.
See,
I
it.
wouldn't sell him to United, and the reason
Yeah.
I don't, I wouldn't even loan him to United. And the reason I'll say this is, it goes two ways. The first thing is, without a doubt, he's better than what they got in the front line,
Yes.
bar
Yes.
Ronaldo. Yeah, and I think he will bring more than a Sancho, Rashford all day long. Right, that's the first thing. The second thing is you're sort of lifting them up. You're making them stronger. That's the
Hmm.
second thing. The third thing is if you take off the field, the marketing aspect, the financial aspect, you're going to make them a
Oh yeah.
shitload of money. Why would I do that to Manchester United? I mean, argument's sake, you could say, why would I do that to Newcastle? But Newcastle, I don't know if you know this, but Eggbali, who's on the consortium, his wife is Amanda Stately at Newcastle. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a connection there where maybe we send Pulisic there. He'll get the guaranteed minutes for the World Cup, which is what he's worried about, and he can flourish there. And if he balls out and it's on loan, we'll bring him back. It's as simple as that.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
I think. I
But
really
I
think you
don't
should loan
think,
him.
Feroze, I don't think, Geese, that Pulisic, no matter what, especially in this system, it will not work at Chelsea. And the reason I say that is Tuchel plays in such a way that
Hmm.
with Pulisic, if you look at him in the States and how he plays for his country, they build around him. Everything runs through him. We don't
Yes.
play like that at Chelsea, you know. And that's why I think Pulisic will never. He's not going to play right wing back because he's not good enough. He's not a wing
Yeah.
back. He's a number 10 Roma, but you got Mason Mount and Sterling doing that. Does he get over Mason Mount? No. Does he get over
Hmm.
Sterling? No.
Agreed.
So, like, does he even have a future at Chelsea? Is
Mm.
my thing.
Yeah.
So, do you sell him or do you loan him? Maybe you loan him and then get more money because he balls out. I
Hmm.
don't know.
No, I agree. I think the market is just so weird that if it's anything less than 50 million, I wouldn't even consider. I don't know.
No.
But then again, it depends to who as well, right?
What
It
if
depends.
Liverpool
Like,
going for him? Fuck. I wouldn't even.
I think he would. I think he will like kill it for Liverpool. I think if he goes to
Yeah.
Liverpool, he will do it. Like it'll be like the most solid situation. I personally
Yeah.
believe that. But then again, he's made out of glass, right? So who knows?
No, who
Who
knows?
knows?
But listen, big up to Fatter in here. Feroze, Winnels everywhere. Long time, Rosie, Abu Dhabi. Big up, Fatter.
Legend. Big up,
We know
Fatur.
about Fatter, bro.
Big
What
up,
a geezer. What a geezer.
legend. He's a nice guy.
Uh,
He's a legend.
Love that. Love that. Big up, Kevin here. Minerals FC's best platform. Johnny always keeps it real and proper CFC supporter. Let's have it right. Lovely to see you there. Big up, Tony in here. Chelsea SW's. Big up, Minerals FC. Up the Chelsea. Keep the blue flag flying high. Ben, thank you for your super sticker, whatever that is, or just write something in the comments, Geezer. Appreciate the donation. I'm trying, guys, to keep up with the chat, but there's loads of stuff. Big up,
There's so many messages.
3.4K. Congratulations. Thank you very much. It's down
Yes.
to you guys. It's down to you guys. Let's have it right. Big stuff. Guys, get some questions in the chat as well, and we'll try and get through it because there's loads that we've already spoken about. Bobby says Pulisic is stupid to want to go. He's had had every chance at Chelsea FC. Nobody is to blame for his injuries, and his lack of goals is down to him. The thing is, right, the Pulisic stands. Oh shit! I've disappeared there. The Pulisic stands. Yeah, they are going on all day long about his conversion rate, how he's got the best conversion rate at Chelsea. And that's all well and good. That's fantastic stats. But we have to look at the other side of the game as well, in performances, in consistency, in actual minutes played. And we haven't seen that from him. You know, Mason Mount has played by far more minutes, granted, but he's got you 29 GA.
Oh yeah.
But it's not just the GA that he offers. He offers everything else, the minerals in the game, the movement, the pressing, the aggression, the link of the midfield to attack. He's got so much more to his game, and he's more versatile. That's why Mount starts over all the attackers, because the attackers haven't brought the minerals. Mount brings the minerals out of position because he's an 8-10. So what's Pulisic's excuse? What's Ziyech's excuse? What's Werner's excuse? What's their
Yep.
excuses? You know, you're
Well
clearly
said.
not good enough. You're clearly not good enough. And Mason and people have the cheek to say Mason Mount ain't Chelsea level. They don't know what they're talking about. Bangers versus
Oh
football.
God,
You know,
yeah.
yeah. 2 times player of the season. My ball, obviously, you know, Feroze, how much I love Mason Mount. I
Oh,
back
of
him.
course.
He's
No, he's
you know what I
like
mean?
he's so good. He's so good.
Let me put the middle question on you. Yeah. Let me see where your head's at. Who's captain? Mason Mount, Reece
Oh,
James. Come on. You're on my
oh,
platform. So let's see if you got the minerals and bottle to say what you just say what you think,
oh.
really. Because you know what I think. I'm going Mount and captain and Reece James vice captain because Mount's been
Oh, do not
captain
do
4
this to me.
times.
Do not do
Yeah,
this to
come on,
me.
Froze. Land it, bruv. Land it.
Ah,
Come on.
I
This is what it's about.
I
We say it as it is, geez.
think there's some connection problem. Nah, honestly, I love both of them, man. It's so this is the one time where I cannot answer this question. It's so
Fair enough.
tough. I love both of them, and Reese is my guy. It's I cannot say like no for like Reese to be the captain. Neither can I for Mace. I know that's such a boring answer, but those two are just like special, you know.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They are,
Generational
but
ballers.
but you know what, like maybe Reese edges it.
You think he's
just
wedges it? Whoa.
maybe just like by like 0.0001% Reese
What
edges
makes
it.
you
Just
say that though? Because I don't
I
see
just
him vocal. I don't. He hasn't been
mm,
captain for us. What
I
What makes you see that?
I just think the fact that like he seems, even though do not get me wrong, because I love Mace, I love Money Mace. He has the minerals, but I feel like Reese is so passionate and also like always is. If you notice, every time there's a fight or anything, he's just there, just to like he has a leadership quality, just like Mace. It can go either way, you know. I just
I'll
see,
give you an
yeah,
example. Yeah. All
yeah,
right. I'll give you what. Let's do 3 examples. All right.
yeah.
The first example is Fulham away, 2019. Aspilicueta gets a leg breaking challenge. The first player to run up to him is Minnels Mount. He
Mm,
gets in a scuffle and gets booked. All right.
yeah.
That's the first one. All right. He was straight to his captain to protect his captain. The second instance is with the Declan Rice Alonso. He went straight up there, split him up because he knew that Alonso could get a red card or it could get ugly. And people tried to turn it on that he was defending Declan Rice when he wasn't. He was just trying to break up and keep his
Oh
team
yeah,
out
yeah. I
of trouble.
remember that. Yeah,
All
I
right.
remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then another occasion, the third occasion, involved Reece James. Reece James at the byline at Man United Old Trafford got into a bit of a scuffle, and Mount went straight up to him, split him up, sent James off, and then
Hmm.
he went to get the ball, and he punched the ball out of De Gea's hands. Fernandez got in his knickers in a twist, and he basically showed a bit of shit housing.
I remember that.
Yeah, so there's moments there.
Of
Plus, on
course.
top, Mount has been made captain by Tuchel 3 times now. He's been
Hmm.
captain, and Lamps made him captain. So I see the reason I say Mount because I think Reese is baller. He's
Yeah.
generational as well. But I think for me, Minnels Mount, he's the player that takes the instructions from the gaffer and he
Hmm.
dictates on the pitch. And if you watch him closely, the way he dictates his teammates where to be and how he dictates the press,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
sit back, like tactically, he is second to none. And Jody Morris has spoken to that, how he sees him. JT's even come out and said, Mason Mount, captain for Chelsea and England, he believes.
But
So,
JT said this for Reese too, like a month or two ago.
did he?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean,
we're so lucky though. Like, think about it. We're so
yeah, of
lucky
course,
how
yeah.
we have two like phenomenal players. They won the Champions League as well, and arguably like the greatest in their positions, right? And the fact that they had the leadership mentality, it makes it like better and interesting, like in terms of like the fact that we have more leaders now,
Yeah.
and eventually, probably in a year, the captain's armband will go to someone soon, or maybe like if Dave does not start often for us, then it might happen like sooner rather than later. You know.
No, I think so. I mean, like I see. I just want to bring this up here.
Yeah,
It's down to the gaffer to decide. I think Asby stays one more time. Well, he signed a 2-year deal, but whether he actually
he won't play
fulfills
that
that,
much, and he won't play that much
yeah,
this season. Once Fofana
yeah,
comes in, like it's gonna be. I love Dave, but even Cucurella, the whole thing with Chilwell, it's gonna be interesting just to see like our squad depth and how like who plays where and all that and how many minutes people get. But I think I mean I never thought about the captaincy before in terms of I always thought maybe like a year or two, but now the fact that like Dave is not gonna get that many minutes, it's gonna be interesting to see who gets it.
Well,
But
Jorginho's going to get it, but if he
oh yeah,
leaves,
Jorginho, yeah. But if he leaves, yep, exactly.
so I'm going to put this up. This is something that touches me. The way that they
Oh,
both they love this club. They
oh,
are part of this club. They're the DNA of this club. The blood, the sweat, the tears, the heart, everything about this football club. Those two are the
yeah.
definition of Chelsea. All right,
No, I
it's
agree. I
very
agree.
rare since JT we haven't had quality of this
Yep.
level come out of the
Mm-hmm.
academy and make it. And people can say,
Yep.
yeah, it's down to Lampard and the transfer ban, but I believe these two players, irrespective, would have broken into the Chelsea first team, whoever the manager was. Sorry, actually regretted with Zola sending
Yep.
Mount on loan.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw that interview as well.
the
Yeah.
yeah, the quality's there. So
Mm-hmm.
like for me, they are the future of Chelsea. They are
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea. That if it's true they're going to sign 7-year deals, and I hope they get their 350 grand a week because they deserve it.
One
Then
hundred percent.
I'm all for it. So I love them both. Obviously, I've got an extra soft spot for Mace because Mace for me, he gets the most hate. And I'm there to defend him and back him all the way because I won't stand for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
They're just so nice. They're nice people too. They're just so
yeah,
like
of course,
nice,
yeah,
and they don't get involved in like all these other things. They focus on football and
yeah,
just still so humble and stuff. Like obviously, like people argue about like who's the best right back in the world, and people will say certain things, but like Reese is just like a quiet person. He's just like accepting all this. He's like it's just so nice just to see all these guys so humble and down to earth, which is why I feel like Mason and Reese are so like successful, right? They're so good because of
yeah,
Thomas.
because their focus is purely on Chelsea. That's the number
Yep.
one priority to make it at
Yeah.
Chelsea and be legends, proper Chelsea legends at the club. And
Yes.
if you look at their off the field displays,
Oh.
so you got Mount with Children with Short Lives, right?
Yep.
Charity, and you got Reese with the Felix Project, so
Yep.
donating food to homeless and that. They're very
Yeah.
classy kids. That's
Oh.
credit to their families. That's credit to their upbringing,
One
and
hundred
obviously their
percent.
their training at Chelsea Academy and how they train you up to be a man and be have that class about you. Not only in the footballing pitch but off the field as well. And
Oh, one
obviously, it's
hundred
down to
percent.
them. It's down to them. They're playing like men at 22, 23 years old. Let's have
Oh
it
no.
right.
Yeah.
They're
So good.
ballers.
So
But
good.
yeah, we know about the minerals there. Big up to Sickering. Thanks for subscribing. Big up Johnny, up to Chelsea, up Minerals FC here
Big
in
up New
here in
Zealand.
New Zealand. Yeah, big up New Zealand. Big up to everyone in all over around the world. Big up to every single one of you. And most importantly, go follow Feroze as well and all his socials, all in description.
Appreciate it.
Feroze17.
Appreciate it.
And like and subscribe. Let me
Please
know in the chat
subscribe.
what
Come
likes
on,
done.
subscribe, everyone.
Yeah,
Everyone
man.
subscribe. And
Subscribe.
John,
Let's have it
you're a
right.
legend, Johnny. You're a legend.
Oh, I'm not a legend, man. I'm just a normal supporter, just
No,
wanting
no,
to
no.
talk Chels and have it out with anyone that wants to come at my football club. I've had it out with a lot of people, ain't you, Froze? I don't know if you've
Yeah.
been sick. I've
I,
I've cancelled that Nini. I've cancelled Rory Jennings. I've cancelled all the Matt Laws, the fucking Liam
wow.
Tannies, all of them.
Wow.
But most of them have blocked me, geezer, because obviously I'm Minerals FC, and Rory had the cheek to say Minerals, mate. Can you believe that? He had the cheek to say that Liverpool got the Minerals. Apparently, Liverpool got the Minerals.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I heard that. I remember watching this like last week or something, and then or a few days ago, and I'm like, oh wow, he actually said minerals. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's
It is.
obviously been watching. Do you know what I mean? But listen, let's talk about. I want to get into Spurs at home,
Oh
and
God.
obviously I was at that one, and it was a electric. But let's go through it. What are you saying about Taylor and Mike Spurs Dean? What are we going to say about these two? Because we got robbed, mate. Absolutely robbed, broad daylight.
I mean, what can we say? That's the thing. It's the most you know it's really bad when Arsenal fans, United, and all these other like fans are agreeing with Chelsea. Like, oh yeah, Chelsea clearly got robbed. It's not even just like the fans. It's like all these other athletes from like basketball, cricketers, and all. They were like, did anyone just see what happened? How like Chelsea just got robbed? And it's so sad because like every time we hear the same referees, like same thing. And before the game, people were saying, "Oh, it's gonna be like." I'm like, no, it's VAR and all. Finally, hopefully things have gotten better. And of course, what happens? Clear robbery. It's not even like debatable what happened. Um, because we played so good. We played so good, and we should be there up with Arsenal and City in terms of getting like full points. Like just we unfortunately because of that we did not like we're not up there with them, but we should be up there at the top of the table with those guys. It's just annoying.
It is annoying. And I'll tell you this, right? And I said I put a video, I played a video, yeah. I played
Yeah.
a video because so you can get a sort of flavour about how I felt about the situation. All right. So let's play this. I'm very happy that Mane's gone because now Liverpool suffer and they're getting a lot of injuries. And did you hear all the prop in the media about Liverpool struggling with the worst injuries? Fuck off. How many injuries did we have last year? We had sanctioning. We had Lukaku documentaries. We had injuries, COVID, contract. No one gave a fuck about Chelsea. No one cared. If that happened to Liverpool, Man United, or Manchester City, it'd be all, we're so sorry for them. What an achievement they're doing, getting top four. And, you can understand why they don't win it. Fuck off. The agenda on Chelsea, we know, is very, very strong. They can't stand Chelsea. So there's no sympathy for Chelsea. It's like, the more they're in the mud, the more we love it. But when it's Liverpool, it's all about injuries now and this and that. And what about Klopp, who got, was it Tierney? Complained about Tierney. Now Tierney's not going to ref another game for Liverpool. Well, where's that same energy for us with Taylor? Where's that same energy? I heard Simon Jordan on TalkSport. I think he's all right. He's an all right geezer. But fuck me, was he brown enveloping the decisions against Chelsea? Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Not a game of opinions. This is the fucking sport, and these are the rules. Fellaini had his hair pulled. The geezer got sent off. Who did something like that and got sent off? Why is it not happening to Romero then? Do you know why? Maybe Taylor didn't see it, but it has to go to VAR. And who's on VAR? The Spurs fan, Mike Dean. That's why, people. And Mike Dean's been taken off VAR. So that tells you everything you need to know. But it's not good enough. It's too late. We've lost the 3 points. I couldn't give a fuck. I want the 3 points on the board, and we deserve the 3 points on the board. And you took that from us and the FA. And you lot are coming at Thomas Tuchel fighting for a fucking handshake. Fuck off. It's ridiculous. Absolute agenda. Full-blown agenda on Chelsea football. And this is the thing, right? So I've obviously put that out on my socials and that because that was on my stream last night, yeah. And it's clear as day that Dean fucked up. He made that error, and he came out today after what? The game was on Sunday. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're Thursday now. It's taken all this time, but they're very quick, the FA, to go and write on their official statement that they're going to fine Thomas Tuchel, all right, for all this handshake antics and that, all right, and what he said. And then straight away, out of the blue, Mike Dean comes out. Firstly, he gets taken off VAR with no explanation. No one knows why, okay, but we know why. And then today's come out with the so-called apology. I should have spent more than 2 minutes on it. I needed more
Oh,
time in it.
God.
For fuck's sake, it was a hair pull. Where anywhere on the pitch, that's the red card. All right, it doesn't matter where, any time, it doesn't matter. It's a red card. But you decided to make the call. You saying, "Oh, I'm not going to give the free kick." That's down to Taylor. It was right in front of Taylor's fucking eyes. All right, let's have it right. It was right in front of his eyes. He let it go. Turned the blind eye to it clearly. All right, they wanted that equaliser from Spurs. They added 6 minutes out of nowhere. I don't know where the 6 minutes injury time came from. And because we had Conor Gallagher and we had Loftus-Cheek in the middle, we did lose that battle in midfield, and it allowed them to bypass us. So my thing is, Dean made the big cock up. He's come out and apologised, which tells you that he's made a mistake. We've lost the 3 points. We've lost 2 points because of his mistake. And why have we got Mike Dean? Why have we got Taylor? Both of them refereeing our biggest derby and our first home game is unacceptable. All right. It's unprofessional. They're not good enough. It's too many times Taylor has fucked up. He didn't give the free kick on Kai Havertz, was outrageous. You know, how many more times are we going to accept this? Because Mendy's site was blocked. It was blocked to an extent, but Richarlison was offside. And that was all after what happened to Kai Havertz on the other end of the pitch. And I saw Kai Havertz. It was clear as day. It was a red card. And he went through the player to get the ball. If you go through the player and get the ball, that's the rule of the game. Anywhere on the pitch, that's a foul, right? He didn't give it, all right? Taylor has got away with it this time because they put the blame on Dean. And Taylor is not good enough. Every game he refs at Chelsea, where there's always an issue. The gaffer's come out and he is clear as day said, the players are aware of Taylor. They know what to expect with Taylor and they don't like it. So what more is it to say? Yeah, you can take Dean off, but why is Dean on there? He's a Spurs fan. I've seen clips of him refereeing Spurs games celebrating when they score.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's shocking, mate.
That.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. It's ridiculous. And then on top of that, the one thing that boiled my blood is right when the game got over, Graham Souness is like, "Oh, it's good how like refs are being allowed to, they're being allowed to like let the game flow." If this happened to Liverpool or any other team, you would hear like they were having a full on analysis, and then Graham Souness did say Chelsea should like that should have been a red card, but this whole inconsistency thing is just ridiculous. It's and I still think the thing with officials and officiating, like same thing for every job in the world. If you do not do your job correctly, there are consequences and eventually you get fired or something. Referees are the only, officiating is the only job in the world where you cannot be criticized. Because if you get criticized, the other person gets fined, which makes no sense. I to this day do not understand. Like, for instance, they should have something where if the ref messes up, like there should be like a league where, they go bottom and they aren't allowed to ref future games. How is this happening? Because this has happened like 5-10 times in a row. It's just, oh man, I don't even know where to start.
Listen, Feroze, what Halsey said. Yeah, he said I've been in that situation when I've seen an incident and been told to say I haven't seen it. To be fair to the FA, it's not them. It comes from within the PGMOL, which is the Professional Game Match Officials Limited, which the FA own. Right?
Oh my God.
The FA own that. And listen to this. It doesn't stop there. We've been told to give certain amount of corners, throw-ins, fouls, bookings, etc., because it's all linked with the bookies, mate. I believe this.
Yes.
I generally believe this, right? The Premier League is rife with spot fixing and bias towards certain clubs from the FA. Every referee in the Premier League could be in front of a court one day soon. Now, Mark Halsey obviously retired and left. He knew what was coming after saying that. But let's have it right.
Wow.
The FA are very quick to defend. They're very quick to defend the referees and the officials when they're piss poor. But shall I tell you why? Because they love to send out those fines to the clubs. They love to fine the clubs because they generate money. It's as simple as that. And if you don't hand the brown envelopes to these FA officials who, let's have it right, are corrupt fucks. As far as I'm concerned, Chelsea have dealt with this all the way through our history. It's clear as day. You can go back to King Bates with Rupert Murdoch and the media and all that. You can go to Roman Abramovich, and we thought it's all going to stop now, the hate. No, it's got even worse, because I don't know if you know that Bowley and Clear Lake. So Clear Lake have relations with business relations with Saudi Media Group.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Saudi
I saw
Media
the
Group
whole.
is linked, and so we got a lot of money behind us.
Yeah.
We have a lot of money, and we're proving that this summer. But they hate us, and if this happened to Liverpool, oh God forbid, if this happened to Liverpool, Man City, these decisions, what's Klopp going to say? And Pep, oh yeah, he'll never ref at your for Liverpool again. You know, it'll be like that, because there's bias and pro Liverpool United.
The media, man, the media hate us as well. Like, is this, you know?
They're brown envelopes. That's what they are, Feroze. You know, they're brown envelopes, mate. Like,
I agree.
like, there's a lot of tier ones that people listen. You go to these people, or you follow these people to get the truth, or you get the nearest to the truth. They're your source to get information, right? But when you're being fed information that's bullshit, and there's personal agenda, like for example, Matt Law putting digs and pressure on Tuchel for getting rid of Lukaku. We sold Werner. Oh, now the pressure's on Kai Havertz. They're all your opinions. They're not facts. They're opinions, but you're creating a narrative and a pressure on the club. Nothing in that club at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. There was nothing negative in inside that game except the officials that were running the game. All right, and the Spurs fans. Apart from that, everything was positive. Everyone's behind the team. Everyone's behind the gaffer. The players play for the gaffer. There's no unhappy players playing now. And that's why we played so class. And we landed the minerals. And we should have actually annihilated them, which we did anyway. Like every position, we killed them. But they tried to create this energy around our football club to create disrest. Like we didn't go through enough last year. COVID, injuries, Lukaku, unhappy players, Tuchel's private life, the sanctioning, politics, not being able to go to games, all this stuff. And the gaffer dealt with it. So this season, this is food and drink for him. And do you know what I love about Thomas Tuchel, Feroze? He says the truth. He says it how it is, and he's getting scrutinised for it, because he's absolutely right. What the officials did is ridiculous. The amount of tactical fouls they gave to all their players, didn't give him one yellow card. When Reece James made one tactical foul to stop them on an attack, booked him straight away. That's the agenda on Chelsea. That's Taylor. And he's got to stay well clear of Chelsea Football Club and all our games, as far as I'm concerned.
100%. You know? 100%.
It's shocking, mate. It really is shocking.
It is. And it's like, it's come to a point where, like, you know, after full time, usually I would like lose it. This is the first time where I'm like, oh, I you know, I'm used to it. Like, just getting, like, you know, these decisions against us. It's like a normal thing now. I'm immune to it. It's so sad. I was frustrated, angry, but I'm like, it's you know, it happened again, right?
Yeah, it's happened again. Do you know what it felt like? It felt like 2009 Barcelona. You know, like those decisions.
Yes. Oh yes.
You know, where it's just like, it's just so obvious and blatant. Like, you just don't want Chelsea to. If we go and win, Feroze, and we beat Spurs, which we deserve to do, that's 6 points. We go to Leeds, and I think we'll beat Leeds, right? Even though the gaffer's not there. But the gaffer, the thing is, what happened between the wig merchant and the gaffer is because of what the refs, the officials,
exactly,
right?
That's the thing, snowball effect, you know.
So the gaffer would be at Leeds now in the dugout on Sunday. He would be. No, he's not. And it puts pressure on Chelsea now, because you ain't got your gaffer in the dugout. You haven't got Kante. You haven't got Kovacic. What's going on with Billy Gilmore? Why the fuck is the gaffer not playing Billy Gilmore? Like, Gallagher and Loftus-Cheek for me are not really, you know, they're not sixes. They're not to play with Georgie. It's not. I've seen it in pre-season. Ain't good enough. So what do you think? Like, if it's me, I'm playing Billy Gilmore for this game and say, look, here's your chance, kid. You show us if you're good enough, and you make me believe that I can use you for the season. Or is there a case that I've got Frankie de Jong coming in, so there's no chance for you to come in? Now, I can understand, because Frankie de Jong, Gilmore, similar type of player. You know, like progressive 6'8", great vision. You know, but Billy's younger and he's not had the development like De Jong. So is that the thought process for the gaffer? What if we don't get Frankie De Jong? Fuck me, and you let Billy Gilmore go. That's a disaster.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think like there has to be some reasoning behind it. Otherwise, logically, it makes no sense not to play him. So I'm pretty sure the gaffer does have something up his sleeve. Hopefully, we'll find out soon.
Do you think he'll stay though?
I don't think he's gonna stay. I don't think he's staying. Yeah.
Because they're saying, today they came out and they said that he's going to go on a permanent deal. He wants to go on a permanent deal. But they said that about Brozier. They said that about Colwill. They said that about obviously now Gilmore. Now Colwill went on loan, so he's not going. He's not getting sold. And what's his name? Brozier's staying.
Brozier's staying. Well, he has to because if like 2 of the 3 attackers leave, even if Aubameyang comes in, we're still a lot weaker in terms of like numbers, right? Like Lukaku gone, Timo Werner gone, and if Joe leaves or Pulisic and Ziyech, that's a lot of players. Okay, Sterling came in, amazing. Broha, I guess, is another number, but it's still not enough with Aubameyang. We need more players. I don't know what's going to happen with our front line. Because Mace is really versatile, so he can play anywhere right now. But in terms of like fixing that or having like a proper solution, even though Aubameyang does excite me, I just hope we get like more players in or some, because that's a concern for me. My biggest concern is we cannot put the ball in the back of the net, or we just don't do it often enough, right? Like I don't know if you saw the chart, how we created like one of the, like it was like in the top 3 chances, and our conversion rate is like 20, right? Like we're like at the bottom in terms of our conversion rate.
I've got it. I've got it here.
That should just let like Kai had such a good game, but he needs to score that chance. That chance he has, he needs to score.
Look at this. Goals,
never mind.
20th.
Okay, shot conversion is okay, now goal is 20th. Sorry, shot conversion 13th, which is horrible. If you have someone like Cristiano, I'm not saying get him, but if he has someone like him or just someone who just scores goals, right? You don't even need pace to play for Chelsea. You don't need pace. You just need to be in the box and be that deadly striker. Hopefully it's Aubameyang, because Aubameyang has that pace and he's really good in the air. Scored 14 goals for Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken. But I feel like it's criminal when you have the best fullbacks in the world and the right foot of Reece James, and you don't have that number 9, right? It's criminal if you have that again. It's just criminal.
Do you think that Aubameyang is that guy? If Reece James crosses in, I think Kai's better with his head.
You know what? I think Aubameyang could be that guy because he scored like 4 or 5 headers for Barcelona, and sure, La Liga is different and all, but just like a couple of years ago, he was like scoring for fun for Arsenal, right? It's just like last year he had those issues, and then when he signed the contract, he was just not the same. But the fact that he is still, I know 33 is old, but the way Chelsea play, it should work out even for an attacker, because he's still really quick. Aubameyang is really quick, and the risk is there. Do not get me wrong. What you said like earlier, the risk is there with his temper and all that, and he can cause drama. But I think Tuchel is like, you know what? I managed this geezer. I turned him from a left winger to a striker. He knows me like inside out. We have that connection, and he'll have that extra motivation to like prove Arteta like, hey, you know what? You messed up by letting me go. He has the Arsenal tattoo, but I think that's just like with his kids, and like it's just like a number 14 with no Arsenal logo or anything like that. I think it's just like Aubameyang is just there with his kids. I think like it should be like a low risk, high reward transfer. If it works out, it could be like.
What about this one?
Yeah.
What about this one? All right. And I don't know whether to believe the brown envelopes about this one, right? But throughout the summer, we've been linked with Ronaldo, which I think is absolute nonsense. That's not happening. All right. I just don't believe the gaffer don't want Ronaldo, so that should close discussion. Stop. He doesn't want him. He's not the right profile. He stops the way we play. We wouldn't play if he had Ronaldo against Spurs. We wouldn't play the way we did. Right? He needs relentless, hard-working, pressing, recovery, possession football. Ronaldo's too old for that shit. And he's no dispute, he's a lethal finisher, GOAT finisher, but
Yeah.
it doesn't fit. Same situation as Ronaldo. So I want to squash that one. It's nonsense. All right. And the brown envelopes need to call off that and stop linking us with Ronaldo, because he's not, United would never sell Ronaldo to us. That's the first thing obvious. Now, for me, the other one that I would absolutely love, I don't know if you're going to guess it, but there's one player that I would absolutely love. And if it meant I would sacrifice the five players that we're letting go.
I think I know who you're gonna say.
Who am I going to say?
Are you talking about Neymar?
Yeah, the name minerals.
Yes. Now, you know how you are for Money Mace. I've been like that for Neymar since like 2009 when we were linked with him when he was coming to Chelsea, and then of course he like stayed and all, and then he went to Barca and all. If I think that's, I'm not gonna say realistic. I think that's not a crazy transfer. That is a possibility with what's happening with Mbappe and all. That's a possibility because obviously like sacrificing those three like wingers. Oh no, doubt. I would actually like pay for the flight tickets just so I can get Nene, you know. But the whole thing with Mbappe that's happening because like all these like crazy outlets are posting like the actual conversations with videos and stuff. It's bizarre as to like when you read the details.
What do you mean?
Like,
what videos, Geese? What were we talking like? What's happened?
I basically like are you familiar with like the whole Mbappe situation right now, or like
I'll tell you what I've seen. I've seen apparently I've seen like is it 2 fan accounts, and Neymar's actually liked the tweets on those 2 fan accounts. So it's basically saying like he found out that Mbappe went to the directors and said, "I want you to sell Neymar," and then there's the penalty thing. So Neymar's the penalty taker. Mbappe took penalty, missed it, and yet the manager goes in and goes, "You're the penalty taker," and dismisses Neymar. That's all I know, really.
Oh, okay.
So is it true?
So all right, yeah. So basically,
go on, enlighten me, because I believe we can sign him.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. So basically, Neymar, Mbappe was making a run for one of the games, right? Like he was not through on goal, but like it was a counter attack, and some player from PSG has the ball. It's not Messi and stuff. Mbappe's calling for it. Mbappe keeps calling for it, and then he doesn't get the pass, and Mbappe just starts walking. He doesn't walk off. He just starts walking, and he's like complaining. And this went viral. Everyone is like, "Wow, look at this crybaby. What is he doing?" Blah blah blah. And then I think a few minutes later, he wins a penalty, right? Or PSG win a penalty. Mbappe takes it, he misses. Right. And then after like 25 minutes, PSG get another penalty. Neymar picks it up, right? Neymar picks it up, and now while Neymar picks it up, Mbappe is like really angry, and he goes to Neymar. He's like, "Hey, can I take it? Because I am the taker and I missed it." Like Neymar is just ignoring him. Neymar is just flat out ignoring Mbappe, and then Mbappe just walks off, right? And then after the game, apparently in the dressing room, Ramos did not have to separate, but they were like Mbappe and Neymar were just arguing in the dressing room like a lot. And then another thing was the manager was like, "All right, Mbappe is our penalty taker. Sorry, Neymar." Like, you know, and Neymar was just like, "What the hell?" And then he went and he liked all those tweets, right? Like those 2-3 tweets from like the accounts.
Yeah, which is
and
mad. That's mad.
And then the same accounts posted a whole Twitter thread of like 100 tweets of like the last like 2 years between like what's happened with Neymar and Mbappe, as to how in the beginning they were cool the first few months, and then after that the relationships has just been horrible. Like Mbappe just doesn't like Neymar anymore, and now Mbappe is sort of like not ashamed, but he's just like, oh no, he did not want it to be public information that he wants Neymar out. He wanted the board to just go like,
that's
"Hey, we want you out."
disrespectful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now I follow a lot of like not a lot. I know like a couple of Neymar's friends who know Neymar really well. Now I'm not saying it's linked, but they're posting on Instagram like, "Oh look, Mbappe is such a crybaby," blah blah blah. And apparently, I don't know how far this is true. Apparently, Neymar there was something with Chelsea because a few months ago, again, Mbappe wanted Neymar out, and then this is when like he still did not sign the contract, right? His extension,
Right.
and then Neymar is like, okay, you know what, I'll start talking to Chelsea or other clubs. It's fine. So he was entertaining Barcelona, Chelsea, and all. And then when he found out Mbappe is the reason that he is gonna leave, he's like, screw that. Who does he think he am? I'm gonna stay here. So then right when Mbappe signed his extension, Neymar also activated his 1 year like extension.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things going on, and people will be like, oh, like how true is this? You can just see it on like their social medias, like both their social media, especially Neymar's, like his Twitter likes and all his friends. Like just go on Instagram, the people he's following, like his close friends, they're just posting horrible things about Mbappe. So I don't know. I'm not saying like Neymar could leave because he wouldn't want Mbappe to get that like power.
It's a pride thing, yeah.
Having said that, if he gets stripped like from like penalties and all these other things and gets disrespected, there's also another play where Mbappe is running and Neymar is just there waiting for the pass. He's like pass, pass, pass. Mbappe is surrounded by like 4 players. He just does not pass to him, and then he gives it to like Messi after like 50 seconds. So they clearly do not like each other. I think if Neymar leaves, it'll probably be to Barca. I don't know how they're gonna get the money, but hopefully we chime in, because Tuchel said right last year or 2 years ago when we won the Champions League, he said the most talented player he's ever
It's
coached is
Neymar.
Neymar.
Yeah.
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 And Mbappe is the reason. Mbappe apparently is the reason why Tuchel got sacked. This all these things came
I
out
believe
like
it.
Past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said this, Feroze, I said this, bruv, about Neymar. Go on, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Tuchel and Neymar had a really good relationship, and Mbappe did
Yeah.
not like that. He's like, hey,
Yeah.
I was signed to be the best player in the world, and like this, as good as this is, it's just weird. And then when they got Messi, he wasn't happy about that. It's just weird. And now Neymar and like Messi have that like relationship, and Mbappe is just alone. So it'll be interesting if we sort of flirt with that idea and get him, because if we get him, that is a statement signing from the new owner. That is that signing. I hope we get him.
I actually think I would hold off Aubameyang. I would sell Ziyech, loan Pulisic, and maybe loan Cho or sell whatever. And I would I would go in with a strong offer and bring Neymar, because I knew that Neymar and Tuchel, there was no issues. It was always Mbappe. I know Mbappe. In my opinion, I don't like him. I think he's a talented footballer, but he's an arrogant fuck. He's a spoilt little shit. Listen, Neymar's got a problem because they will push Neymar out, not because of that he's not as talented or whatever. It's purely the fact that they're paying Mbappe $1 million a week. He signed a new contract. He's been promised all these demands. So he's got all the power, and Mbappe knows that. Now, in my opinion, they're a joke club. Romain Molina's spoken about their club. They're a corrupt club, useless club. If I'm Neymar, fuck going Barcelona, because Barcelona ain't the same team, and they're not going to pay you the money. Come to Chelsea, and I think we are the only club where we have a chance. Maybe United, but they don't have Champions League, so forget that. He ain't going now. But his dad spoke of United, Neymar to United, Neymar's dad. But my thing is Tuchel being at Chelsea is the golden ticket. If we can somehow manage a last-minute deal, I think you go all out for Neymar, because if you get Neymar, De Jong, and Fofana, I'm all good, mate. Like, fuck me.
If we get Neymar,
I am buzzing.
If we get Neymar, like Fofana, or even like I'll just be like, it's fine. Like I just want Neymar. That is that signing that's guaranteed 25, 30 goals. That's just guaranteed, and it's not even like a poacher. He's just that good. People can say what
How much
they
do you
want.
think he costs? How much do you think he costs?
Ooh,
because he's on what, 500 grand a week, 600 grand a week.
Yeah.
What do you think his transfer fee would be? He's on 1 year deal.
I think it will be around 100 million. 110, 120 million, I think. Not more, because if a player wants to leave, and
they want to get rid of him.
There's a lot of drama, and the fact that they want to get rid of him, then it's because they want to get rid of him too. PSG want to get rid of him. It's not like he is their star player. It's not like PSG went like, hey, can you extend your contract? No. Neymar triggered his extension because he's like, oh, okay, you know what? Mbappe's extending his thing. I'll extend it too, just to mess around, you know. Um, I think it'll be like around 120 million or something.
And then wages, you'd have to lower his wages. You'd have to lower them. We're not going to pay him 700 grand a week.
Yeah, but you know, the thing
Do you
is,
think Bowley would?
I think Bowley would, just because of all the players that we got rid of that were on really high wages, right? That's why,
Yeah,
like
you got,
Timo's
yeah.
got, sure, we got Raheem and all these other guys. Koulibaly also, like, it's like nothing compared to how it was before with all these crazy wages. Like Timo and Lukaku itself, it just like clears up so much. Which is why I think, and then the potential offer to Rudiger, because we offered him like 300, like at the end, right? 300K. I think with all these things, if a deal is agreed, wages should not be a problem. Bowley will be like, this is my statement signing, you know?
And do you think, more importantly, do you think Gaffer would want him? Do you think Gaffer wants him?
I think, despite the reports, I think no Gaffer will say no to Neymar. Ronaldo, yes, because like his age, so I can understand why people would say no.
I agree. Yeah.
Because 37, 38 is too old, even though he is arguably the best player in the world, like to ever play, along with Messi and all. But having said that, I think players like Neymar are like once in a lifetime, and if an opportunity is there, good age, just get him. Like he can be that final piece of the puzzle, you know. But hey, you know what? Me and you are dreaming right now. We are just dreaming, you know.
We are dreaming, but listen, if you're looking going for Frankie De Jong and you're looking to buy 80 million on him, 80 million on Fofana, you know, what's an extra 30 million and wages on Neymar when you've got rid of Lukaku on 400 grand a week or 420 grand a week? You got rid of Werner on almost 300 grand a week. You're getting rid of Pulisic is on 150 grand. You got Chels on 140 grand, and you got Hakim Ziyech on 130 grand. You know, that's Neymar's wages, and you got extra to spend on wages if you're buying a Gordon, right? And then Frank, we've lost Rudiger and Christensen. We're signing Fofana won't be high wages because, you know, let's have it right, he's 20 years old. Koulibaly's on 175 grand a week. Now, De Jong's an interesting one because I think you're going to have to pay him. You know, if you're going to buy Neymar for 700 grand, he's going to say, I want 500 grand a week.
Of course.
He's not, you know what I mean? So, like, is it realistic? Do you forget De Jong and go Neymar? Because it might be that. But do you think the midfield's good enough? Imagine having Frankie De Jong, Neymar. Fucking hell. You're talking the transformation of Tuchel ball. You know what
I'm really scared of? I'm really scared. This is my worst case scenario nightmare. My worst case scenario nightmare is in like 2-3 days, Neymar falls out with the PSG board and he's leaving for sure. Chelsea get an opening with Frankie De Jong, get him. We pay Barca the money. Barca with that money buy Bernardo Silva,
Neymar,
and then City go for Neymar. That will be the biggest nightmare for me.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, people do not understand. Sure, they have Grealish. Sure, they have all these other players. They signed like, you know, a couple of other strikers, but I feel like with Sterling gone and with Bernardo Silva, who is one of the best players with like De Bruyne and all these other guys, I think, you know, Neymar could be a possibility to City.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
Yes.
I don't know, because that means, let's argument's sake, let's say City buy Neymar,
Grealish.
You got Grealish, Mahrez, Foden, Haaland, right? You're playing that three in the front. So you can play Haaland, you're going to play Neymar. So that means you got to drop Foden, Grealish, and Mahrez, one of them.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know. But you know what? I'm just like...
Yeah. They got the money. They'll have the money.
I'm expecting, that's the thing. When a player like Neymar is available, it's going to be like, so everyone is just... And especially the fact that City are going to lose Bernardo Silva. You know, but, you know, hopefully we see him in blue, in a darker shade of blue, hopefully.
You know, he's been offered to us. He's been offered.
I know.
Yeah. He's been offered to us, but why haven't we gone in? Is that because the player wants to stay? Like you said, he's sort of like oh no, why should I leave? I'm going to stay. And that's when he
Yeah,
came. But now it's the shit's hit the
exactly.
fan. Right.
Apparently,
Right.
like Chelsea were talking like again like this summer, and then the second he signed like an extension, he's like, oh wait, he's signing an extension, and in that extension he said he wants me out again. Okay, all right, you know what? I want to make sure I stay and make like his life hell. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what games these guys are playing, but it would be
The
amazing if you
the
get him.
new manager there is going to struggle. Then he's not going to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, because
He's not experienced enough.
Before Mbappe got back, Messi and Neymar were doing so well like the past month, and then like he just got in, like Mbappe just came back from his injury or whatever, and then like Neymar was just like it's not the same. Like you can see arguments on the pitch, you know. It's if
Yeah,
that
there's
if something like that happens on the pitch, then you know a lot of bad things are happening off the pitch. You know, like that's
because
happening for
I
sure.
look at it like this. I think yes, it's a huge outlay, right? But the dynamics, the level it takes Chelsea Football Club to sign a player of him, like that superstar player,
Yes,
and he said he'd die for the gaffer. He'd die for
yes,
Tuchel. His best
yes.
stats and his best years were under Tuchel
Tuchel,
by
yes,
miles.
yes.
Right, so Neymar can be rejuvenated and prove, and in my opinion, Mbappe will never be the player of Neymar. Never.
Oh, yeah. You know, hope
He
man.
won't. He won't. He's not good
I
enough.
know
He's not. He's not that.
his
He's
attitude
not
is
as
just all
talented
like
as
yeah,
Neymar.
yeah,
He's not. He's great. I call him a pace merchant. You know,
yeah.
Ninja Turtle pace merchant because he is that. He's just got
Oh
blistered
yeah,
pace.
yeah,
If
of
you
course.
take away his pace, what's he got?
No, I agree with you 100%. 100%. I
Neymar's
just
got
feel like
all the minerals.
Neymar can create stuff from nothing. Mbappe has that
Yeah.
burst of acceleration, which is ridiculous. Which I think for like a year or two, or like 2, 3 years, he can be lethal. Like that pace is unbelievable. But once he loses, it'll be interesting to see how like he copes with it. You know, like Neymar
Yeah.
can cope with it. He's not as quick as he used to, but like he's just phenomenal. You know.
I've seen this. I've seen Neymar. Like I know Neymar. I wanted him when
Yeah.
he was at Santos, and we almost
Yeah.
Abramovich booked the plane for him and everything. And
Yes, I remember. And then you
Pele
sent
convinced
Manalo
him.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Pele said no, don't go to Chelsea, don't go to Barcelona, and then all Brazilian players want to go Barca,
Yeah.
and then it happened, and you know the story
It
played out. And
sucks
then
because it sucks because we were so close signing Rubinho. That obviously did not happen because
yeah,
of the
that
whole
was another
shirt
one.
incident. Then the next Rubinho, the next big Brazilian superstar, Neymar. And then like we sent him Manalo there, and then like it just didn't work out. And then Pele, as you said, and then he had the press conference where he extended his contract. And then like all these other players become so close, right? And then Rafinha, like you know, I wanted like a skillful Brazilian flair player. That didn't happen. Now we have, if an opportunity is there to get the best, like you know, Brazilian right now, who is just that good, get him. Like you know, pull the trigger, get
You know
him.
what would? Yeah. I mean, I see this. I think if you put Neymar in Chelsea's team, Minerals Mount elevates him. To have a
Oh,
player of Mount around him, yeah, will bring out something out of Neymar that he won't even realise he had. You got Sterling there, you got Reece James there. I think you've got real ballers around him. You know, if you put Mason Mount in that PSG team, they don't get knocked out by Real Madrid. PSG don't have a player like Mason Mount. They don't have a
I
midfielder
agree.
like that. And I
I
think
agree.
they would have shut out the game and they would have gone through. You put Mason Mount with Neymar, it gives freedom to Neymar, it allows
We
Mason
will win.
Mount to step behind.
We will win
We'd
the
win
league. We
everything.
will win
Yeah.
if we get Neymar, we will win the league because our defense is that good as well. That's the thing. People are not realizing our defense is ridiculous. That with arguably one of the best players in the world and all these other like players, oof, that will be something. Neymar and like
What
De Jong.
what about this Endrick kid? Have you heard about this kid? Have you seen this kid?
I've heard of him. I haven't seen much of him.
Fucking hell, 16 years old. It's unbelievable, Feroze. You got to check him out, mate.
Really?
He's
Wow.
ridiculous.
I
Ridiculous.
like how they're getting all these youngsters. It's good. It's good for like it's good balance, you know?
He's 16, but he's not eligible to play for us. We'd have to probably
Wow.
keep him loaned back to wherever he is in Brazil. This guy's got grown men on their asses. You know,
Wow.
he's got a combination of like the R9 and a bit of like Neymar. You know, he's built
Wow.
a bit Romero-ish, like that kind of build. Trickery, overhead kicks, goals from all over the place. He's a young kid. He looks fantastic, but you know,
Wow.
he apparently the reports are, from if you believe it, that his family are enticed by the Chelsea project more than the money.
Ooh. Wow.
And Real Madrid and Barca in for him. So I don't know if that's true, but it's gone quiet. We only heard it one night and that was it. We haven't heard anything since. So I don't know whether we're going to go and get him. If we do, that's a coup. But listen, if you're going to go through all the players now, let's go through the players. Let's give it a rating out of 10, what we believe if we're going to sign them or not. All right. So
Okay.
let's go to Feroze.
Wait. What
Feroze.
I believe, what I believe, or what I think will, or what I want, what I believe will happen, or what I want.
What we believe. I think what we
Okay.
believe.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
because
What I
I
believe.
think what
Okay.
we want all of them.
Yeah.
But
Fair enough.
if we yeah.
Fair
If we
enough,
go with
fair
what we
enough.
believe, all right, let's go with
Yeah.
what's his name? Fofana. So what are we giving out of 10 for Fofana?
I would say 9.
Yeah, I'd go 9. I'd go
Yeah.
9.5, I reckon. I think it's done.
I was gonna go
I think it's
9.5, but
breaking.
I'm just saying just because it's 80 million, like that's what my 9.
Do you think we'll get it lower though than 80? Do you think we'll get it for like 70? I think we can.
I think we can. I think we can.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with say 70 million. 9.5 for
Yeah.
Fofana. All right, let's go
let's put it
to
let's put it to let's
go
put
on.
it to 9.2. 9.2.
9.2. Fair play. All right, let's have it right. 9.2.
Yes.
Let's go there.
Yes.
Let's go to Gordon.
Ooh.
Everton's Gordon.
Well, mm,
Because I think you want to come.
I think 8. 8.
Do you think though there's implications of if you look at an Aubameyang, you look at a Neymar, that you don't sign him, or do you think the gaffer wants him irrespective of those signings? Because he's what,
Well,
40, 50 million?
I think if you get Aubameyang, it wouldn't matter. But if you get Neymar, Gordon will not come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Should we go 7?
So, you know what? Let's make it 7. The price
7,
is also crazy.
Yeah, it's 50
Maybe
million, but
7.5.
it's
Yeah.
like English tax, man. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
English
We can go
player,
7.5.
21 years old,
We can go 7.5 if you
7.5.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 7.5 for Gordon. Let's go Aubameyang.
I actually think it's closer to Fofana. I think 9.5.
Really? You think it's that close?
Yeah. I think it's that close.
Shit.
Because of how,
So
like, even though people are saying, oh, like 30 million euros is too much, whatever. I think like nowadays, even though Barca got it for free, nowadays like 30 million euros is not a lot for someone who can get like that many goals. And all these reports and stuff that he wants to leave. I think it's gonna be a lot easier than Fofana just because of the money. If money wasn't an issue, then I would put him lower than Fofana. I would put him at like an 8.5. But just because it's gonna be so easy to get him, I think 9.5. That's
all
my
right, so
reasoning. But yeah,
if we put, I'm not saying we go Neymar, but let's put Neymar in that situation, all right? Because you kind of have to, in a way, because if you go for a Neymar, do you still buy a Aubameyang? Where does Aubameyang, Neymar, Mount, Sterling all fit in?
I
Do you think you leave Aubameyang if you go for Neymar, or do you leave Aubameyang if you get Frankie De Jong? Because I think they've all got domino effects. These guys, these 3 players.
I just think that if we get Neymar, we're not gonna get Aubameyang. But I would like both Neymar and Aubameyang just because Aubameyang can be that number 9. Neymar can also play that false 9 role. He's phenomenal at it. But I just think like having that presence and that striker who is going to just get you those goals is always good to have.
Do you think the gaffer looks at it like, well, I've got Mason Mount and Sterling. Do I need Neymar?
I think Mount can drop slightly deeper. That role against he played against Spurs was phenomenal. I think he can. Mace has the minerals for that. You know, the
Of
fact that
course.
Mace, the fact that Mace and Sterling and all are so versatile that it's a lot easier than how it was before. Like Lukaku can only play one position. Timo Werner can play like one and a half. But Sterling, Mount, Neymar, all these guys can like play like all these different positions. Mount is more versatile than Sterling and Neymar because he can be a midfielder too, right? While they cannot
Well,
play
yeah,
midfield.
he'll drop in. But my thing is, if
Exactly.
you're playing a back three, back five, Mount starts in the front three, but ultimately within the game, he drops into like that midfield three, or you go 2-2-2, right?
Yeah.
So does
I
he
see that.
sort of work with Neymar and Sterling plays next to say the striker? Do you know what I mean? Like how do you set up is my thing. So if you've got a Bamiyang in there, where does Kai fit in? Because you've got Kai, Kai, you have to do something with Kai. This is what I'm saying. I don't know if you get a Bamiyang and you get Neymar, if it's one or the other. And if you get a Bamiyang, I think you lose out on De Jong.
I would get rid of. I cannot believe I'm going to say this. I would get rid of Kai if we get Neymar. I would.
Would you?
I would.
Oh,
I would. Like
I don't know about
I
that.
don't do not get me wrong. Kai Havertz is a really good like player. He has potential to be a really really world class player, but he needs to deliver. He obviously played a big part in the Club World Cup and the Champions League, huge part. But what he has one goal in the last like 10 games for club country. Come on, like you need if you're being that striker, you need to deliver. And if, like I said, if you're getting one of the best players in the world right now, I would give up Kai. If you're getting Neymar, otherwise, no. Otherwise, I would
I
not.
would say this. I
Yeah.
wouldn't get rid of Kai. I would not sign a Bamiyang. I would play Mason Mount in behind Kai Havertz 9, Sterling and Neymar. That for me, I think wins the whole lot. I think
Oh,
that
okay.
wins it all.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see that
Yeah,
happening.
because Kai's got too much potential for me. He's
Oh yeah, yeah. Of
22.
course, of course, of
He's
course.
a
No,
fucking he's a
no.
silky
Like,
German. Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I would prefer, obviously, same. I would rather I would rather keep Kai and not get Pierre like Emerick Aubameyang and get Neymar. But if an option comes of, hey, we can get Neymar, but you'll have to get rid of Kai Havertz, I'll do that. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
But
what
the
I
thing
meant.
is,
Yeah,
Kai doesn't want to go. I think Real Madrid would want Kai, but he doesn't, or
yeah,
Bayern maybe, but he doesn't want
yeah.
to go. He loves Chelsea, and I don't think he
He
goes.
loves
And I think the
Chelsea. Yeah.
gaffer, the thing for me, I think if you put Havertz with Neymar next to him, right?
Oh,
Yeah, and
minerals
then you have
and
Sterling and
Mace.
Mount in
Oh,
behind, spreading out wide. Yeah, that for me. And imagine you had De Jong with a Jorginho, De Jong with a Kovacic.
and
You're
then the
talking
fullbacks,
minerals, bro.
and then our fullbacks, Chilwell,
And then the
Cucurella,
fullbacks.
or Reese.
That's
Oh,
ridiculous, team. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, if we go with that out of 10, I'm going to put a Bamiyang to the side for a minute because I think he's the key to whether you get a Frankie De Jong or a Neymar. I think if you sign a Bamiyang, I think you're more likely to go all out for Neymar than you are Frankie De Jong. And the reason I say it is because I think De Jong will stay. I think Barcelona will have the funds to get him to stay. Like the Bamiyang fee, the Depay fee that they get, and them off the books might allow them to get Bernardo Silva and
true.
keep
And
De Jong. I don't
feel like
know. I don't know how they're working it.
another issue is the fact that like doing these big deals right at the end, then PSG will have to get a replacement, which could be Rash. I don't know. I'm just saying because Rashford was linked with PSG. It's gonna be really tough, like getting this like a deal like this done
Oh
last
yeah,
minute.
Rashford. Yeah.
That's the thing. Rashford was linked with PSG for a reason. I see it like as a not a Neymar replacement, but at least an option. Which is why I think
I think it is. I think it's a
even though
replacement.
Yeah, I'm just saying, even though like we can go all out for Neymar, De Jong, and stuff, but it is risky. And if we do that, I don't want a situation where we don't get Neymar or we don't get Aubameyang, because Aubameyang was like, no, I already made my mind. You guys were linked with me. I wanted to come, and then you guys just put me off like for a bet. No, I'm gonna stay here and like just play with Lewandowski or whatever. And then we get no one, right? For me, like we need that one player at least will get us like 15, 20 goals. At least we need that
If we
striker,
yeah, but
you
if
know?
we look at let's take Bowley for a second, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bowley wants to make a statement, doesn't he? He wants to say, hello, here's the
Yeah.
minerals. I'm here. Chelsea are serious. We're not mucking around. Now, if he doesn't sign out of these players we've listed, let's say he just signs Fafana, Gordon, and Aubameyang, all right? And everyone else we signed. No Neymar, no Frankie de Jong. Is that enough of a statement? I don't think it is. Because he hasn't got a Declan Rice, didn't get Frankie de
Yeah,
Jong.
we need that midfielder. Yeah. Unless
Yeah.
unless we get Aubameyang, Fofana, De Jong, I will not be happy.
So Aubameyang, Fafana, De Jong, I think that's a
I'll
statement.
be happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah, that's
statement.
a statement. Along with the other
Yeah,
signings we made, right? Like Cucurella,
yeah,
Sterling,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then of
yeah, yeah.
course the other
I think
youngsters.
that's yeah.
Yeah,
See, I just don't know if we get Frankie De Jong Feroze, mate. I don't know
I
why I don't
know.
think we will get him. I just don't
I
think
don't.
we
I don't.
will.
I don't think so. I don't think because now we're having problems with the midfielders too. So hopefully that's sorted. You know.
Because if you let go of Gilmore, and you keep
Yeah.
just Gallagher, Loftus Cheek, and then you're going for the same situation as last season in the double six position. You got no
No, I agree.
cover. You know,
I I
I
agree.
mean, what if Georgie gets fucking injured? Then what? And we've got no Billy Gilmore. What's the gaffer? There must be something going on. These are the things that
Yeah.
make me think, oh, maybe we are going for a De Jong. You know, maybe we might.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I
Like it's gone so quiet now. I'm
I
thinking,
think
what the
I
hell's
think
going
I
on?
think you know what? I think we're gonna get him.
Do you?
I think we're gonna get him.
What makes you think that though? Because I
I
don't think the money's the
just
object. I
no,
don't think it's
because
about
here's the
money.
thing. I
The
feel
money's
like
there.
I feel like if you were not linked with him, you would be linked with another midfielder. You know,
Okay.
or like obviously players can just be signed randomly, like at the club with no link whatsoever. That has happened before, but it's just too quiet. Chelsea would have seen like, oh look, Kante is injured, Jorginho is like getting injured. Sure, they're not the same type of players, but Casemiro is available. Chelsea would have gone for him, right? I'm just saying, like, there's a reason why like we're so quiet, and for other midfielders, maybe all our eggs are like just in one basket with De Jong, you know.
Yeah.
So
What?
hopefully,
So if you have a feeling we get the all right, what do you think the outcome is? Do you think that he refuses to drop his wages? We come in and say, look, we want you. We'll give you what contract. We'll pay the 17 or 18 million. You get to come to London. We're going to love you here. Is that the going rate? Like, and then
I
Barcelona are like, yeah, we'll get rid of him because he's not going to lower his wages.
yeah, I think
Do you think
that,
De Jong
and
would lower his wages? Do you think he would?
I
I
think
don't
he will
think. Why
have.
should
I
he?
think he will have to, because if Barca really just keep, because the fans are booing him as well, right? I think like it's a game of poker right now between De Jong and Barcelona. I think that's what's happening as to who will blink first, because it's one of those things where you're seeing the club don't want him, the fans don't want him, all the other legends are also like, no, we're not reducing our salary, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
He is, as you said, their lever. Like no person or no player wants to stay at a place where they're not wanted. It's super rare, right? It's super rare. Otherwise, it'll be one of those things where he starts trading alone and all that. Like, what other option does he have? Because he's getting booed from everywhere. You know,
yeah,
like
they are abusing him, aren't they?
yeah,
They're
of
abusing
course.
him.
So like,
Yeah,
would you want that, or would you want to get paid like a lot of money, go to a nice city, play for the world champions right now? You know, it's a no brainer that like there's a high possibility that he could join Chelsea. It's a no-brainer. Do I think it'll happen? I think it's more likely than not that he'll be a Chelsea player. But that's just me trying to put two and two together with like us not being linked with anyone, us wanting him, and Barca need that money, and then De Jong is not liked at Barca. So that's what I think will happen.
Because did you hear that clip from Harry Redknapp? I don't know if you heard it.
Which one?
Harry Redknapp came out. Let me see if I can get it. I'll play it for you and tell me what you think. Let me see if I can find. Actually, I tweeted it out myself. Bear with me.
Sure.
Because I don't know, why would he come out with something like this? I'm just very skeptical with the brown envelopes, mate. Like I think, are they just using our name?
I hear you.
You know, just to say, yeah, Chelsea linked to. Let's try and get a better deal for Barcelona. Barcelona just using Chelsea, or maybe they're trying to get United to pay more money. You know, what's the thought process there? What's going on there? Something's not right. You know. Because we've seen, and the reason I say it, that you've seen with how we've gone in for the other players, it's been very quick. You know,
Yeah,
there's not been any issues.
But the thing is, most of the other players, just like Rafinha, right? When they Rafinha really wanted Barcelona badly. It's weird because I know Deco, so like even he was just like, oh, it's so tough for me because if client is saying no, like I want to go to this club, so sometimes like money isn't the motivation, right? It could be just like going for your dream club or whatever, which is why I don't blame Rafinha one bit. I don't blame him. Having said that, De Jong also, the whole thing about staying at Barca, I just think it's one of those things where he, in his mind, he doesn't want to stay there. Which person would want to stay at a place where they're not wanted? No one would. I don't think he's going to stay there.
Hated.
Yeah. So I really think he will leave Barca and hopefully to Chelsea. I think it's more likely, as I said, more likely than not happening, because it will be a statement signing, and apparently Bowley wants him. Who wouldn't want him, right? Besides Barca.
But it's not. The thing is, Feroze, it's not really what Bowley wants. It's what the gaffer wants. Because
I think
if,
Tuchel wants him too, because our midfield, like any manager would rate De Jong. You know, even Javi likes him, but he just cannot play him because of all these politics and all these things that are happening behind the scenes. You know, he can be that player for us, that crucial link up that we are lacking. Because in like transition, we just lack that one player to create and just be there, and he can be so good at it. You know, him, Fofana, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and I will not complain. I will be a really happy geezer. You know.
like, listen, I'd love him, and I think he'd be a great one. But it's like he's played out of position. They don't build around Frenkie de Jong at Barcelona.
Yeah.
He's not. You're not getting the best out of him. But for me, he's their best player. So at Chelsea, Tuchel would get the best out of him. He will love him.
He'll play
we
as
will
well.
love him, and he'll play every game. He'll play every game, and I think he's built for the league.
I just wish, in a way, like Netherlands, like they didn't qualify for the World Cup, right? Or did they?
No.
Did it not, right?
No, I think they did, didn't they?
Did they?
I think they did.
Okay, all right.
Shall I check?
Because then I'm like, it's a no-brainer. Then you have to leave, right? You just have to if you're not going to get minutes. I find it so weird how the World Cup is in like a few months. So weird.
Dutch on the record. What is it? 2022, isn't it? The World Cup.
Yes.
Let's have a look. No. It says,
okay.
Throughout the Netherlands finished as top in standings. However, due to the format of the World Cup draw, the Dutch actually entered as a Group 2 team. Therefore,
they are in the same
boat.
Okay.
As you, so they are in the group. They are.
Okay, all right. Never mind. Then, like, come on. Like, why would he stay? You know?
Yeah, he's got a couple of Chels.
He has to leave. Yeah.
This is what Harry Redknapp came out and said a little while ago. So see what you think on this.
Right. Now it looks like De Jong wants to go to Chelsea. I know that for a fact. He wants to go to Chelsea. So Man United are not going to get him. I've had that from somebody right at the very, very, very top at Man United. He's made up. He really wants to go to Chelsea. So if he goes to Chelsea, and Man United don't get him, I don't know where they're going. And if Chelsea get him, it'd obviously be a fantastic signing for them.
That's what he's come out and said, Feroze.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I read about this. Yeah. No. Like, I really think. See, here's the thing. There's no club in the world right now that can afford him and that wants him, and that can offer him Champions League football besides Chelsea. There's no club right now.
How much do you trust Harry Redknapp though?
I think like the thing is it's so small, like the football circle, like everyone knows everyone, which is why I do trust him, because there's so many like people I'm sure that he knows at certain clubs, and just because of how small the circle is, right? Like everyone knows everyone, which is why it's not like surprising that he would want to come to Chelsea, right? But he cannot publicly say this, because if he publicly says this, maybe like it'll affect his whole contract, because Barca were trying to like sue him, and I don't know, just a lot of things going on, right? Like
they're
legalities
trying
and
to
stuff.
sue him. Yeah,
That's the thing. So that's why I'm like,
well,
he
they
can't even
threatened
like
to. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why there's no way he's gonna stay, man. There's no way. And I hope we get this done really soon. I don't want it to go to deadline day. I think it may, but then again, the whole thing with Bernardo Silva, maybe that'll escalate this. Maybe Barca like, all right, let's get this done quickly so we can get Bernardo Silva.
because that Pep wanted to get rid of Bernardo Silva last year.
Yeah.
And I think Bernardo, I don't know if you've seen the All or Nothing. Pep goes, this player stays with me wherever I go. About Bernardo, and then last summer he was looking to offload him, and I think Bernardo ended up staying. Was
Yeah,
probably
he was
one of their
homesick.
best players.
Yeah, he was. It was weird because he's homesick as well. Like it's just like a weird situation.
And then maybe thought, do you know what? I've got the chance to get out now. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I want to go.
No. 100%. Like I think it'd be a good match for them.
What do you think then? Out of 10, what we saying, Frankie de Jong?
I think I would give Frankie de Jong a solid, I would say 7.8.
Wow. Okay, you guys. I say 5.
I say 7.8.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's tight. I think for me, I say 5 because it's 50-50. I like, because that's where I sit with it, on the fence.
I know, but I'm just looking at it from like two perspectives. Number one, he's like having all these problems, with the board, with the fans. And number two, Barca want Bernardo Silva. They have no money. The only way they can get that much money is from Chelsea. Not just Aubameyang is nothing. 20 million is like whatever.
Yeah, it's
But
peanuts. Yeah.
So the remaining money, it is Chelsea Football Club, and that's why they'll be like, all right, let's make this deal happen.
And I think he transforms the midfield.
Yes.
I think he brings us something that we haven't got. It's like Declan Rice. Declan Rice gives us something we haven't got. And I think, maybe the thought process, I think my dream midfield for Feroze is Declan Rice, Frankie de Jong, Mason Mount. That's my dream midfield three.
Oh, speak it into existence next summer, hopefully.
Yeah, because listen,
next
let's have
summer,
it right.
Yeah.
Frankie de Jong 80 million compared to Rice at 150 million. West Ham are not going to go down. So Chelsea are looking at like, do you know what? We'll come back next year. He's on 1 year plus the extension. That's 2 year contract.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pay you less, people. We'll pay you 80 million and we'll save that 60, 70 million on top.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So that's what I'd do, and I think Declan Rice would wait, and he wants Chelsea. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So all right, you say 7.8 or whatever for Frankie de Jong. Neymar. Because it's not. Let's not do a want. It's what we believe is likely to be the outcome.
All right.
There's a lot. I tell you what, till deadline day, there's a lot. A 10.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
A 10 for what you want. Yeah.
I wish it was a 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
4 in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
4.
Like it's good to dream. It's good to dream, right? It's good to dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like everything has to happen for that deal to happen, and I don't think it will. So
It's too much, and there's not enough time, maybe as
yeah,
well.
it's too
A
much.
deal as complex as that,
Yep.
unless something drastically happens at the weekend at PSG,
Yeah.
or dressing room unrest, or which is probably already happening anyway,
Yeah.
then Chelsea might knock on the door and go, Neymar, do you want to weigh out? Tuchel wants you. The gaffer calls him up and says,
Oh,
"Come on, Nene, let's get you to the bridge. We're going to
oh,
win it all." Like
that'll be the best.
there is chances. Listen, the gaffer might have spoken to him already.
Yeah.
Tuchel might have spoken to him already.
And you know the
If
whole
anyone,
thing with Thiago Silva as well. Remember how Thiago
yeah,
Silva?
yeah. Do you remember
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
I remember.
Why was that brought out?
Yeah, yeah. And then one of my friends was at the event. Um, one journalist, like Brazilian journalist, he's actually good friends with William and David Luiz. So he was in Brazil and he was texting. He's like Neymar and Thiago Silva just hanging out the entire night, and that's when like the next day, Thiago Silva started liking all these comments and like all these photos of like trying to convince Neymar. So who knows, right? And it's not even like a bad conversation for him to have to go like, hey, you know what? I left PSG. The following year, I became a champion of Europe. So like, it's good
And
for
listen, he's going to trust his Brazilian compatriot,
yes,
who's by far generational centre back, one of the greatest in the game, and
no,
he's left
100.
PSG. He's won the Super Cup, Champions League, Club World Cup. He's under an elite manager. He's under Tuchel, who they both know, and
Yeah,
Tuchel loves both. I genuinely believe that Roman set up Tuchel. That's why they bought Thiago Silva on the free. And I think they had that thought process after Frank to get Tuchel in. And
yeah,
Tuchel, because they knew Tuchel was having problems with PSG. That's another discussion, but I think just to touch on that, and I think Silva's come out with them comments. There's no reason why would he come out?
yeah,
If
of
he
course.
comes, he's got to come to Chelsea. I'll do my best. It would be a dream to, they've had this conversation. They're footballers, and
I think
Neymar is a
something is
very,
there. Yeah,
yeah.
something
I'd
is
go
definitely
with,
there.
yeah. I think something's got to happen major, which is already happening. It's there, it's bubbling. Something extra's got to happen to be the catalyst for PSG ball to go. Do you know what, Neymar? You've got to leave
Mm,
because we've just spent all this money on Mbappe. We can't have this going into the new season, which has already started. And then
no, you're
Neymar's
right.
going to be like, do you know what? Yeah, I'll go to Tuchel because no one else can afford me, and I go to London, and he'll love it in London.
Oh,
He'll
I
love it in
wish,
London.
I wish this happens. This will literally be like the cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake. That's what it will be if you get Neymar. But I don't think it's gonna happen, unfortunately.
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think it's a dream.
Let's
I've said
let's
it
just
from day one, but
yeah.
it's a dream.
Let's just not
It's
be
a dream.
greedy and be happy with De Jong when he comes and Fofana and Aubameyang.
yeah,
Let's let Bully cook.
yeah,
Let Bully cook.
yeah. He's cooking, man. He's cooking.
Mm.
He's
By
cooking.
the way,
Cucurella.
my AirPods are about to die like any second. I just
Yeah, no
need
worries,
to
no worries. All right.
yeah.
Well, listen, let's run it off. 2
Yes.
hours. We've been in this. Big up
It's
for
been a
Rose.
pleasure. You have been such a good host. No wonder the show is so successful. Like it's just overall good vibes,
Love that, love that. It's positive, it's positivity, mate, and it's we say it how it is, and
Of course.
we express our love for the club that we love.
Hmm. Yeah, of course.
So people, please follow Feroze 17 on his Twitter, Instagram, and his YouTube channel. Support him. Big up to Feroze.
Big up,
Um,
Johnny.
Do you know what I mean? And I'll let you get out of here, and I'll do my outro.
All
And
right.
if you can hang out backstage, we'll have a quick chat, whatever.
Will do for
Or
sure.
if you've got to go, we'll
Yeah.
do whatever. And you come on
All right.
again. Do you know what I mean? But
I
listen, big
will
up.
definitely. Big up. Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure to talk about the best team in the world because we still are. Always gotta say that. But nah, big up chat. Thank you. Please, please, please like, comment, subscribe. It'll mean a lot. Just do it. Come on, the stream is amazing. All right.
Let's go. Serious Minerals landed. Serious Minerals landed. So Feroze is here. A lovely, lovely show, 2 hours show, quality minerals. Guys, like and subscribe. Very important. Like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like. Thank you to everyone that's donated. Listen, Feroze is a top geezer. Very happy to have him on. Thank you, geezer, for coming on. Wonderful show. A lot of minerals were landed in this show. A lot of minerals landed. So, guys, please put your thoughts in the comments after the video. Very important to me. And as always, like and subscribe, people. That's what it's all about. We bring you the best content here. And yeah, Feroze is very well connected. He's very well connected. He's goes without saying. I don't need to say who he's linked with. He's well known that he's very well connected, and he's a lovely geezer. And I've had the pleasure of him coming on my show. We've had lots of discussions together. I've known him for a little while, and I'm very honoured to have him on. And he's a lovely guy, top guy, really lovely geezer. So that was awesome to have him on the channel, people. So guys, a wonderful channel, a wonderful show today or tonight, and I will more than likely be on tomorrow. Hopefully some more news breaks out. But guys, before you go, before you leave, subscribe, hit your notifications. Big up to everyone in here. And as always, up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Fuck all the brown envelopes. Fuck all the Minerals Mount haters. Fuck all the referees, Taylor, Dean, all the rats, all the people against Chelsea. Everyone's got an agenda against Chelsea. All the people on the Chelsea platforms that have got an issue with Minerals FC. Middle finger up to you lot. Up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Let's have it right. Big up to all you guys in here. Love to everyone. Speak soon. See you soon, guys. And check out my socials, Minerals FC, for new content coming out. Up the Chels. Right, Pride of London. London is blue. Let's have it right. Up the Chels, up the Minerals FC. Let's go. Have it right, Minerals FC. You got the minerals, yeah? Love it. Got the minerals, TT.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking minerals, mate.